Hi, I'm Olivia Dinges. I'm also known as Sister Dinges. Um, I used to be in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I joined back in 2015, and I'm technically not unbaptized, but I stopped going in 2020 after the pandemic. But when I really stopped believing fully, was back in 2018 probably. I had realized I had a spiritual awakening in what we are taught about God, about Jesus. I guess I'll save that for another video. But I used to astral project, and I still do sometimes, but not on purpose. And a lot of times I would never leave my body fully, but I would sit up, and so I could be like looking around. I could see my leg, I could see around me. Everything was always in black and white. And I'd always get that thought in my head, like, I wonder what would happen if I fully left my body. Now, sometimes I feel a tug or a little pull, but I was able to pull back in and wake up. But this time, I was in the mother's room. And one thing you don't want to do when you sleep is sleep on your back. Because if you are meant to astral project, or you are an astral projector, but you don't know how to lucid dream, it's very bad. So when you lay on your back, you can leave your body. This time I sat up. I went to sleep and I sat up. I saw my legs and I looked around me. And this time everything was in color in the mother's room. The worst part was, of course, I had that thought in my head. Something decided to forcefully keep pulling and pulling and try to rip me out of my body. I kept trying to wake up. I can usually wake myself up because I'm also a lucid dreamer, so I can control my dreams. I kept trying to wake up. I kept trying to wake up, but I couldn't. I couldn't wake up. And so the very last moment, I finally said, okay, God, I'm praying to you. This is the last time I'm going to astral project. I'm not going to do it again, but I really need your help to wake me up, to get me out of here. And on the side of me, in the doorway of the mother's room, I could see a black, foggy mass. Like, like in those movies where there's this, it's a paranormal movie and there's this black mass and it's kind of cloudy, foggy, but it's moving around. That is what I saw in the entrance of the mother's room, trying to tug me and pull me out of my body. So after I made the prayer to God, I was able to wake myself up. I pulled myself out of there. And throughout time, I just stopped going. And I talked to my husband about this, who was already on a spiritual journey and has changed. And he said, if that was really the home of God, there wouldn't have been anything there to pull you out. There would have been no black masses trying to force you out of your body. And slowly but surely, I stopped going to church. It's not that I don't believe in God anymore. I've had a lot of different spiritual experiences. But now I believe in the higher self. I've learned a lot since 2018. But throughout during that time when I had woken up, I used to always be that one in church at Gospel Essentials that always raise their hand to make comments and tell them my beliefs in God and why we're here and all this other yada yada. But I'm going to tell you right now what I've learned so far, and I know now, is nothing like what you learn. Churches are not going to teach you this. You inside, a soul is you. These bodies that we have are, I guess I should say this for another video, but I did learn something about when you die. The white light is not something you always want to go to. In fact, the white light, a lot of times you'll see people in interviews about their near-death experiences and them going into the white light. And hence that's why they're still here to tell us the tale of their near-death experiences. All I know is that my soul belongs somewhere else. And as I changed and learned more of the truth to what I know now, the more I kind of distanced myself from the church. And then the pandemic hit, and then the last time I went was in July, where we had it outside, and I just didn't feel it anymore. But I still keep some of my friends. I have all my friends from church. But I also moved to a different place. So I didn't want to go do the word out there because I didn't want to make new friends. I'm kind of an introvert now, so since the pandemic, and not because I'm paranoid, but because a lot of people have changed. But yeah, I no longer go to the church anymore, and that's the reason why I don't go, because I feel like a place of God. If that's, really, you'd be surprised if you wake up, what you'll learn is completely different from what you know or think you know now. But that is not a place of good, and so I no longer go to the church, and that's why I left the morning church. And if any of you, my friends, see this, I'm sorry, but I just have a different beliefs and knowledge system now.